Hey everyone, Pastor Monty here. Welcome to the month of August and just some pastoral encouragement for worship this weekend. If you're tracking in the church here, the 11th Sunday after Pentecost. Our worship theme this weekend is not complex. It's very, very simple, but reassuring and comforting. And here it is as we go through life, as we do ministry, as we serve, as we let our light shine, as we love our neighbor as ourselves, as we try to witness the love of Christ to others, we often face challenges and adversities and trouble and pain, and all of that can be very frustrating and disheartening. And yet in the waters of our baptism, the Lord has given us a promise that can never be broken, and that He will always be present. I promise to always be with you. In our gospel lesson this weekend from the Gospel of Mark, Jesus' disciples were just serving the Lord. They were doing the ministry they were called to do, and they're on a boat, going across the Sea of Galilee, and there was a storm, and they were in grave danger of dying, and yet the Lord was present, right? He came to them. Fear not. Don't be afraid. Everything turned out just fine. In our first reading from 2 Kings, Elisha was just serving the Lord, right? And doing the ministry he had been called to do, and he was facing death. And what Elisha could not see was that the Lord was present, but not only the Lord, an invisible army of warrior angels who would go and fight for him. And then in the second reading from 2 Timothy, I use these final words of the Apostle Paul as my sermon text. Paul was in prison. He was all alone. Paul was facing death, and yet Paul was remarkably calm and confident and unafraid because he knew that the Lord was right by his side. And more than that, Paul knew what was coming next, that the moment his life ended, he would be in God's presence, he would experience heavenly glory, and he would stand before his Savior who had washed all his sins away and given him a robe of righteousness to wear. And so don't be afraid ever, because I am with you. A couple other worship notes. If you're coming to the Thursday service, we have something special. We don't have baptisms often at our Thursday services, but tonight we will be baptizing Henry James, a little son of Ben and Natasha Hillwig. And then this Sunday, a reminder, in the 10:30 service here at the Schofield campus, we will install our new vicar for the next year, Eric Helmer. And then after the service, there will be a coffee and cake reception as we welcome not only Eric, but also his wife, Kristen, to our St. Peter family. God be with you, and we'll see you at worship this weekend.